I have seen a range of skill developments between my preliminary task and my opening sequence final edit. Firstly, my pre-production planning and research for my preliminary task was very minimal, and therefore I did not receive any target audience feedback. So my preliminary task did not have a target audience and was not aimed at anyone. By doing research on conventions of opening sequences and analysing them, as well as carrying out target audience research using questionnaires, I was able to make my final opening sequence suited to my audience and as professional as possible, increasing its views. My storyboarding process has also improved by including more detail on sound effects, type of shot, and how long I wanted them to be. This made my filming process for my opening sequence much easier and smoother, as all of my ideas for each shot were clearly laid out, whereas in my preliminary task, my storyboarding process was much less detailed and in-depth, and therefore was less helpful during the filming process, as the duration, camera movement, and description of each shot were not in detail. In terms of my filming and editing, I have progressed and learned huge amounts. I had a much more varied range of shot types and camera movements. For example, aerial shots used to film my protagonist laying on the bed, which is a shot I have not previously used. When editing, I used and learnt various amounts of techniques and tools, for example the blade tool, which I have not previously used, and it allowed me to cut clips or small chunks of clips when I needed them, which was very useful, especially when cutting out pieces of footage I did not need or decided did not look correct. I have advanced in my knowledge of how these techniques can create a significant meaning for the target audience, as well as making it look as professional as possible. In my preliminary task, I used a limited number of shot types, transitions, and tools, therefore making it much less professional and engaging. My audio levels and use of audio have significantly improved since my preliminary task, as I have learnt how to change audio levels so that I could therefore make the audio proportional to other parts. For example, when using diegetic sound and non-diegetic sound, layered over the top of each other, I wanted the non-diegetic sound to be slightly quieter compared to the diegetic sound, but to still be loud enough to be heard. I was also able to adjust the level of dynamics of the dialogue to make it easily heard over the background music. I was able to fade out my music at the end using Final Cut software, which I did not do in my preliminary task. This gave my final opening sequence a much more professional look. Although my preliminary task was important in showing my knowledge and understanding of continuity editing, I found some mistakes which were not repeated in my opening sequence, for example, breaking the 180-degree rule when the interviewer walks in. I was, however, able to learn from these mistakes to produce a better final product.